presenter back to give us kind of a refresher course on our interactive projector, and then we'll also be providing time at the end for any questions that you have. So please start thinking of those, of the practical application in the classroom, and how you've been using it to share some of the knowledge that we have, and really to extend our professional development. And I turn it over.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. A lot of you look familiar from last time, and thanks for having me back. My name is Art Sindel. I'm with Hitachi. I'm also with Elmo and a couple other brands. But we're going to do another little refresher on the Starboard software. And I remember last time we spent a good amount of time on the standalone mode. Have any of you been using it in standalone mode? Pretty much got a good handle on that. So if you have your Elmo plugged in or nothing plugged in, you can still pull up the stuff from the memory of the projector and everything? Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure everybody needs to go through that, or we should just jump right into the Starboard software. So, I say we just jump right into the Starboard software. So, and if you have any questions when I'm doing my thing, I mean, I kind of tend to ramble. Feel free to just interrupt me and say, hey, I got a question, and you know, we'll try to answer any questions you have and get you all worked out and get you guys to be gurus on this in no time. So, the Starboard software is already going on the projector. So, as long as it's residing on your Mac or your laptop, it'll be down here. It's a little icon that kind of looks like a portable smart board with a little pencil on it. So to start that, of course, you just, again, you know, mouse basics. This pen is your mouse. This pen is just a wireless mouse disguised as a pen. I mean, that's all you're using. You're not doing anything different than using your little trackpad, except you're just using this little pen as your mouse. So I always tell everyone, you know, when you're first kind of using a product like this, your natural tendency is to come over to your trackpad and kind of do it that way. I say do everything with this pen, even when it comes to shutting your computer down or, you know, doing any of these other, you know, regular functions that you do with your trackpad. It can all be done with this, because this is just basically a control device. So when you first start the Starboard software, this menu is going to come up, and you notice I can move the menu all over the screen. You don't have to have the menu vertical. You can make it horizontal if you like to do that. Well, I just actually made the menu disappear. If you want to make the menu disappear, if you don't want it, you know, taking up too much of your screen, you hit this little arrow there at the top, and that makes the menu into a little ghost thing, so you still have access to it. So to bring it back, to expand it back up, you just hit that menu button. But to make it horizontal, you just click and drag, and you can make it horizontal if you like. All up to your preference. I prefer to have it straight up and down, so I'm going to go ahead and move it back. There we go. Okay. So when you first start the Starboard software, you're going to see what is a you know, a brainstorming page, a new page. So when you start the software, this is what you're going to see. And I always call this kind of the brainstorming page. You have a lot of different stuff that you can do with this, but this control panel is your gateway to doing all of the good stuff. So what I'll do, I'll just start out with the pens at first. And if you all want to, you know, have any questions, like I said, please feel free to chime in. You have several different pens associated with this, and each pen has 12 different colors and patterns associated with it. So I'm just going to start with our regular writing pen right here. And the big thing to remember, just like the standalone mode, is that anything that's highlighted in yellow on that toolbar is what's active. So my select button is what's active, so now I'm using my select button, even though I don't have anything on the screen. But what I'm going to do is just grab my regular pen here. Whenever you grab something, the software will tell you it's a normal pen, so you have a little bit of a legend there. So your normal pen, you just basically do your regular text. I'm in a red color right now. You have, whenever you jump into one of your pens, along the bottom here, you're going to have a little legend that allows you to, a little shortcut that allows you to change things. This little bar right here, it allows you to thicken your lines. If you want them thick or thin, you just use that little slider. Then with your regular text pen, you also have the ability to do dotted lines too. So if you're annotating over a map or a graphic or something, and you want to use dotted lines, you just choose those, and those will go all the way across the screen, any type of pattern that you like. Just on your text pen now. So if you're on this and it's still dotted and everything, you're like, what's going on here? You just hit this little button at the bottom and choose your straight line. Now, you notice I'm kind of running out of real estate on the screen, which will tend to run out of room. There's two things I can do. I can either scroll down with this and just keep annotating and annotating, make a big old page. When you're done, it's going to squeeze it into an 8.5 by 11 text frame. So you can keep scrolling down, you can change colors, or what you can do, you can always make a new page. You can make new pages all day long. Because the nice thing about the Starboard software is whenever you do something new, what we've done already is automatically saved by the software. So you don't have to go and save this and make a new page. So when I hit my new page button, it's this little button right there with the red arrow that's going down. I'll hit that and it gives me a new page. It'll also tell me that this is page 3 of 3. So like I said, you can either scroll down or you can just keep making new pages all day long. Now, your regular pen, you have a lot of different choices. You have 12 different colors associated with it. So to choose a different color, you just put this little drop-down thing and grab your colors. Of course, you always have your ability to make it wider or a little thinner. Those are your 12 colors that are associated with each pen. Now, in each pen, you have 6 different types of pens with this. So, of course, your one at the top is your normal one, but say if you want to do a highlighter, your highlighter allows you to highlight stuff on the screen. Doing the same type of functionality, you can make it wider or thinner. You're highlighting, and then of course you have your 12 different highlighter colors as well. So that's your second type of ink on there, is your highlighter. And I'm just going to scroll down a little bit because we can, or we can make a new page, whatever you prefer. So your third pen down is what's called 3D ink. And the 3D ink is like 2 different colors, and it kind of stands out a little better. Like you have 12 different colors associated with that. You can really get creative with this. Okay, so I got my normal ink. You'll use that the most. Highlighter, 3D ink. This next one down there, the fourth one, it's called shadow ink. So, for example, if I was annotating over a graphic, like my desktop or something, I would just grab my pen. And of course, whenever you grab a pen, the software is going to take an image grab of whatever's on the screen, be it a web page, a lesson plan. In this case, it's the desktop. And I'm just going to show you the shadow ink. I have 12 different colors associated with it. But the shadow ink, what it does, after you write something on the screen, it casts a little bit of a shadow. So let me do a new page, and I'll give you another example of how it does a shadow up there. Same type of functionality as all of our other pens, but after you draw something and you stop drawing, it just puts a shadow on there so it shows up a little bit better on the screen. And of course you have your 12 colors associated with that as well. They're all going to come out like a shadow. Now our other inks, as we go down, they get a little bit more wild. You might find these useful. There's your rainbows. You also have other different patterns. You can make these thick and thin, just like I was doing before. And you got your rainbow swirls. These are cool. Then at the very bottom are, kind of the oohs and ahs type of ink. You have your paint. So you've got your strawberries, and you have your oranges. And all this stuff, it works the same function. It's just a different type of a pattern. So then, of course, to erase, I've got my little erase button on here, and I can erase this. If I want to go ahead and globally erase it, I hit the menu button. And what I always call the menu button the start button because it reminds me of the start button on Windows. But it kind of has the same type of functionality. So if you hit that menu button, you're going to get File, Edit, View. So what I'm going to do, in this case, I want to clear all of my annotations out. I'm just going to hit my Clear Annotation button. It's always going to ask you, are you sure you want to do that? In this case, yeah, let's just go ahead, since we're just demonstrating our pen and ink stuff. Remember, anything that's highlighted in yellow on the toolbar is what's active, so my eraser is active right now. So we're going to go back to our pens. So basically, in review, we're on our normal pen, but you have the ability to 6 different types of inks. You have your regular ink, and you have your highlighters, your second one. It's so nice to use this projector and pen on a real dry erase board. Sometimes we do demonstrations on a textured wall and everything, but this is really nice and smooth. So you've got your highlighters, and you have your 3D inks, followed by your shadow inks, and then your fill tools, and your ultimate paint tools. So that's your color palette in kind of a nutshell. It gives you a lot of room to be creative.